I'm up by road. I just got back from the Pilbara. This is my studio, home gym, garage. Welcome to the madness. Also, these are my work shoes, going out shoes, painting shoes, training shoes.
I mean, look at the fit.
Yeah, look at the fit. These are Livs trackies, new Street X winter kit. I don't know what, it's fucking nice quarter zip. Now, as you can see, I've just gotten back from the Pilbara. As you can tell, this pretty much explains my brain at the moment. A whole heap of random ideas that are half cooked and a whole heap of finished ideas that are also cooked. Oh, mate, settle down, settle down. How good's that, eh? Your Perth winter, they call it. Also, have a look at this. This is what I look at every morning before I train or paint. This is my very creative mantra that I wrote on the wall here. Get it done, you pussy. You know what I mean? You're looking at that every time you come in and when you're about to do a 15-minute wide, do a couple of burpees or paint a 5-minute challenge. You just read that there and you just know what you got to do. Now, let me move the pram out of the way and then I'm going to show you my current storage facility for my spray paint over here. All right, so I've just unloaded my Hilux. I said Hilux because my last two cars were hand-me-downs and I blew them both up and I'm stoked to have a Hilux. I'm a Hilux man. I've been in Wickham, which is right next to Roburn. 2 weeks there, completing a job which was a squash club, which I'm really stoked about. So shout outs to Wickham Council. And then the second job was at the Pilbara Quarry, creating a piece on their tank. This is basically the result of that. The thing with murals, you get to see always the polished, finished product, but you don't actually see any of this shit. When you're raw dogging your business from the ground up, everyone's showing you some flash workshop and, you know, this, that, and the other, when really this is in a nutshell what I'm doing every couple of weeks. I'm reversing in, loading in and out a job out of different Bunnings crates, and then I'm also packing away my paint when we need the garage, and the studio wall also acts as home gym, garage, and everything else. And I think that's important. I think sometimes, it's just fucking life actually, to be honest.
Well, I've got some questions for you, Adam.
How convenient. Yeah, go on, give us one.
What do you think is the biggest lie people believe about a successful mural artist?
Oh, it's like any job, you know, what I was just talking about. You think that the final product is what you just get to do every day. You just get to rock up and paint, but it's not that. I think as you paint more and you do bigger projects, it becomes so much admin based and approvals based and working with towns, councils, and so many different stakeholders that, you know, you might be painting like 30% of the time. Also, it's like any business. Once it kind of gets a bit bigger, which I'm learning now, it's about managing people and working with a team. Like yourself, Logs, first team, we get to have a Christmas party this year. Let's go, baby. But it is around that and setting expectations for yourself and others to kind of make sure you can meet deadlines and turn a passion into a business is something where it's make or break. You either can or you can't. And you have to want to as well. It's not whether you can or you can't. You're going to put the time in. That's the biggest lie.
So much admin goes into what Adam does. It's actually kind of crazy. I didn't realize. And now I'm learning all this stuff about art by road.
That's the reason why I think it is a hard thing as well, because Logan's obviously doing all my videography, but also in that sometimes the biggest lie about a videographer is you get to film all the time. Logan's always also doing all my mundane shit as well. So sending emails, working out how to run ads and helping me do this when he's not filming and doing the inventory side.
But it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
It's all worth it.
I would love to know if Instagram disappeared tomorrow, would art by row still exist?
110%. Before I had Instagram, I was painting through word of mouth and door knocking, and that's how I got a lot of my walls. The great thing is there is a result when you're driving. You're going to see a piece. You're going to want to know who it is. So through that, you could just send me a mobile number, send me a text, or find my number or something. So yeah, it would definitely exist. Would its reach? Its reach would be different because right now I'm obviously able to gain a market or an audience over in the States from being here in Freo. So definitely there'd be an impact on reach, but yeah, we'd still exist, mate. To the moon.
All right. Well, you've painted millions of dollars worth of murals. What's the one mural you wish you never painted?
Not the type of mural, but the style. I do less and less of this, but again, it's part of what you have to do is always the signage side of things. I'll always say yes and yes to, and forever I'm sitting down with a brush and spending 2 days brushing in that side of the murals. As the murals get bigger and the budgets get bigger, I can now outsource that. It's not really my passion. I don't really find, I love that I can hold a brush steady, but I'm not, all the pre-works for that, making a pounce, lining the wall up, etc., etc. I don't want to do all that. And early on, I would find makeshift ways to make sure signage was perfect, and it wasn't, and I cooked a few jobs early on just where the letters were on the piss, and it wasn't that the final result was bad. I just had to spend way more labor hours myself correcting these jobs when I could have just paid someone to do it for me.
Okay. What separates the artists that make it from the ones that stay hobbyists forever?
Being an artist and being a public artist or a working artist is just, it's two very different things. The nature of being an artist is that you're completing work that's free or freedom of expression. When you're creating public art, it blurs those lines because now you're creating art art for a desired result based on what the client wants. And that can have some internal issues with the artist if you don't have separate outlets. So I have art and paintings that I do for myself. I've drawn since I was a child. I still do those things, but a lot of the time now my art is taken up by client work, and I have to separate those two. Otherwise, some artists don't want to do that, and then as a result they just have to work and they labor for someone, or they have a trade and then they just paint separately. It's much of a muchness. I've spoken about this before, but I get to improve my art, so then when I do my own work, I'm naturally getting better.
I think you have a great balance, because we do get to film you doing the awesome 1 minute challenges and 5 minute challenges, and it's just, that's for fun, you know? But it also adds a layer into Art by Row and makes people see your fun side.
It's that personable side of what, whilst we're doing this as well, is you only see one side of things when you're just creating murals from a business perspective for clients, and it's amazing, and it reflects your art, but it doesn't reflect who you are. Like, we're just having a laugh when we're working together and whatnot, and it's important for when we're creating a dream for ourselves, and we're always trying to work towards that. For people to be able to see that in real time is really important.
If you had to start again tomorrow with no followers, right? No contacts, no reputation, what would you do first?
I'd do exactly what I did 10 years ago. In 2015, I created my first mural, which was 11 years ago. I created 3 or 4 murals, thought I was absolutely killing it, then couldn't get another mural. The reason why is because I took my foot off the gas. Back then I didn't have a following. I hadn't even started my Instagram. I went back to work for 4 or 5 years and then had to repeat that and start painting free walls. What I should have done was just continue to develop through word of mouth, paint more walls, paint them for free, build a portfolio, use that to leverage more customers, then jump across, if I had any money from the job that I was working in, use Meta or Instagram to generate those leads, and then use that portfolio to build out more work, paid work, boom. But that's basically what we do now. It's taken me years to understand that. That's what I did in 2015, but I didn't know what I know now and couldn't piece it together, and I was fucking lazy. If it was to all go back to zero now, I would just repeat that method a lot more efficiently, and I'd know what I'm doing, and I'd know when work dives, what to do to keep that work going. Come on, son.
Have you ever spent weeks painting something only to secretly hate the finished product?
Man, I'm kind of young when it comes to creating big walls. I painted a lot of pieces for years and years and years. They're only like kind of, 1.8 high by 3 or 4. So when you get a lot bigger in that, the way you scale out and everything's different, the composition's different, the tonal value is different for it to look real. Also paint a lot more realistic subjects now. I'm not anywhere near where I want to be. So a lot of the time when I finish a mural, I hold myself to such high expectations that I'll hate it for a few months. A lot of my older murals I did last year, I really like now, because I can already see how much better I've gotten from understanding why I'm painting things the way that I am. And that makes me enjoy my older murals. Are they a true reflection of what I can do now? No, because I'm getting better every day.
It's like a timeline of your own progression and your growth. It's awesome to see, because then you would look back in 40 years and go, fuck, I really created all of that artwork, and I tried my best at the time, and as long as I was doing my best,
you can appreciate something.
You can appreciate it.
I even think, like, man, these one-line drawings, when we started them only 3 weeks ago, man, I was having a meltdown, man. It takes a massive hit on your ego when you say, you identify as being a weapon with the cans, and then you cook these simple logos. You naturally post them because we've said we're going to build these challenges up. But then fast forward 3 weeks, and I was actually pretty happy with the SpongeBob piece that I'm about to drop and the Charizard, although they still look pretty epoxy. The proportions are great. And then when I then reapply that to my murals, man, I'm just going to be able to paint faster. I get a lot of questions around content. I've been getting a lot of inboxes from mural artists around how to build the content out. Like, something to think about. Creating or documenting stuff that you're already doing, you're already good at, or not good at, like this, we're just filming, having a yarn. Builds who you are. The 1 minute and 5 minute is just so there's some viral brain rot around a skill that you already do. If you're a runner, you put up a video of you running really, really fast. Look at Ashton Hall, he's the most viral dude in the world. He's just got his fucking rig out running. That's viral brain rot. Then he links that back to building his brand and who he is. So, something to think about in relation, because I look at a lot of these guys and break it down in my own life. I have my murals, that's what pays the bills. The 1 and 5 minute is what's building massive outreach from not just in Perth. And then those people that stick around come back to my page. One video recently got 8 million views. Another one got 300,000. Out of that 8 million, I get 2 messages. One of them's a mural. Baby, we're on. So I'm using these different formats of creating content, but it's all built around what I do and the core business, which I've been trying to focus on for the last 2 years. I knew nothing about this. So if you're watching this, maybe it'll do that for you. Think about what you do, what you're good at, how you can pump it out fast. fast, how it can be engaging. Then also talk about some honest shit as well.
I think what's also really cool about the 1 minute and 5 minute challenges is that it shows you having fun. And I think that is a really big source of people coming to you and seeing your artwork, seeing your personality. It's like you're doing these challenges for reach and for growth, but you're also having fun with it, which is adding so much to Art by Row and your brand.
Yeah, and just a day job. No one ever wants to be sitting at a desk every day. Some people do, some people are good at it, but I never wanted that. So to be able to create 1 and 5 minute videos and then that creates work, man, that's the best shit ever in my eyes. I know it might be, it might be toy as fuck or whatever, but it's like, you know what else is toy as fuck, man? Digging a trench for some fucker that is paying you a shit wage, sweating your dot off, and I'm painting a Charizard, brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. Think about that.
What's something the public completely misunderstands about graffiti artists?
All right, I'll give you a serious question. I'll give you the piss take answer. I get asked a lot by people that don't paint or haven't painted or that don't have an understanding of graffiti, why so much hate? I'm under no illusion as to why I get that hate. Graffiti is a subculture. It stemmed from something that was misunderstood and about getting your name out there and not knowing the person. And in the modern age, it's completely flipped to where you do know the person and they might have a persona, but they might not even get up or paint anything in their own city. I paint on my garage wall, yet I get more outreach from a writer that is painting in their own city on a wall. So the level of respect I'm showing is probably going to be a lot less. It is going to generate a lot more hate because the person that's painting in their own city, man, they're going out, they're putting in the time, and there's always going to be a disconnect between that. And I understand, and that's why that generates hate, but I'm here for it, you know what I mean? Again, it just does wonderful things for myself on the old Instagram, tiki-toki. That's why, yeah, just coming from subcultures, they've all got their own kind of customs, and you kind of know, and I push and blur the boundaries with that time and time again. The piss take answer is, a lot of graffiti artists are butthurt individuals that don't like change, and they're in the subculture, or when they're in it, it creates control for them. They only like you when you're a graffiti writer. If you change your shirt, if you change if you start going to the gym, or you start painting for someone for money, you're now not a graffiti writer and you're now a fuckwit and they're not gonna like you. So once again, understanding that hate is important, and I understand all of it. Thank you to everyone that likes or hates my videos. It's all part and parcel if you're gonna put yourself on the internet. It's not real life.
If money wasn't a factor, what mural would you paint tomorrow?
I'm working on that. I'm working to kind of link my realism and learning realism with surrealist subjects and form, and then bringing back in my love for letters and color. It's not a tomorrow thing. It's going to take years. If you look at anyone's development in painting murals, and if they paint realism, you have to kind of get sucked into pleasing the client because they're paying us for our level of skill sometimes and not our level of artistic merit. That's where, linking back to that original question, some artists don't stand the test of time, because in order to paint what you want, it's going to take you years. I'm still working towards that. But the cat mural that I painted in the Freo Piazza, that's like kind of where I want to head. It has like an anamorphic element to it. It looks like the cat. The walls are on an angle. Looks like the cat's looking into a mirror, which is a reflection of what a place could be. And then it has different themes in the mural that link to my own life. I've posted them on my Instagram. If you like them, go and have a read. Yeah, I want to find the link between that, because although I'm developing these skills to paint realism, I'm not just going to cut that out and then just paint something completely different. And maybe one time I will, but I want to just create work that's more expressive.
20 years from now, what do you hope people remember about Art by Row?
They won't need to remember, because I'll still be there. Hell yeah, dog. This is a daily thing, mate. I'm only 30 now. I'm going to be doing this till I'm bloody 90. And some, if Elon works out how to reconnect me neurons. But in all honesty, like, fuck, I just want my friends and my family and E and that to think that I turned something that wasn't a job into something that's been able to substantiate a life, and that's always been the goal. If people like that and get on board with that, that's sick. If they don't, who gives a shit, man?
What's one opinion you have about the art world that almost nobody agrees with?
Unlucky, you guys lost. I don't have a gallery connected to me. No one's paid me to do a show, and I make more money than you. The art world isn't for the 1%ers. It's not for the rich. It's not for the wealthy. It's for everyone. The irony in that is I pay for my groceries off my art. That only works if I continue to do that and work at it every day. So it's nothing to boast about. But art now, you don't need to be connected to a gallery. We live in a world where we are so interconnected globally that it allows them to not have any control on us being the mechanism, or, think of your galleries like the government. And I say that no galleries ever hit me up. So maybe I'm not good enough either. And this is me just being a butthurt bitch about it. But also, I don't need to be connected to anyone and I can still sell my art. That is so amazing for anyone that's in a remote area or might not have the connections that someone else have. It levels the playing field. Now let's see who the best artist is, may the best man win.
I think that really ties in back to what people think about graffiti artists and stuff as well. Art can be so pretentious in some ways. Graffiti art is a way that people can express themselves without having to fit into some kind of mold or whatever. They can just express it how they want, and it isn't for the 1%ers. It's for the people who can actually, I don't know, understand where they're coming from, and the people who just come from different backgrounds and stuff.
And look, and in that defense to graffiti, now I think that's why it's so opposed to the art world, because it does speak on everything that the art world is. And I think, you know, that's probably why I generate a lot of both-sided opinions, because I'm trying to do both, and you should always pick one or the other. I'm a fucking fence sitter, mate. But that's where I am now based on my own chronology of what I've built up. But it 100% links to what you just said.
Biggest career mistake?
I'm yet to make it. Ask me in a year, mate. If I keep posting long form videos like this, I'll probably make it. Oh, alright. I should have been making more content earlier. Although it feels like I'm trying to make the most, you can only put those expectations on yourself, and I should have been doing it earlier. If you think about any creator or content creator or young brand owner in the US versus Australia, we're 5 to 10 years behind. The worst and the most horrendous streamers over in the US, they're all 20. You fuck up when you're 20, it's different to fucking up when you're 31. And I would have been a lot more reckless if I was doing what I'm doing now, if I was 21, and everyone would have been like, oh, he's just young. Whereas like now I'm obviously a bit more conscious of it, and also I want to be a positive representation for my son and my family. So if I would have started 10 years ago, I'd probably be naked right now filming this. SpongeBob, 5 minutes. Charizard, 5 minutes. Tell me in the comments which one you reckon's better. I'm for the Charizard. But the reason why the Pokemon focus and the Yu-Gi-Oh focus is my brother was a bit of a card geek growing up, and he just found our recent card collection, and we've got a Blue Eyes that's apparently worth a lot of money. White Dragon. Everyone's ripping cards online. Last week I thought, screw it, I'll paint a Blue Eyes piece. I want to revisit that theme. It was just chalked up real fast. I think we did it in about an hour and 40. Currently, I mentioned it earlier, it's just about linking kind of the greatest point of relevance to the painting, and then also just fun shit that I want to paint. So, you know, I just come back from 3 weeks away, wanted to paint something fun. My brother and I have been talking about Blue Eyes. Mate, why not paint the Blue Eyes, you know? The letter pieces that we've been doing as well, what you don't see. My DMs look like this at the moment. It's full of people messaging me around credibility teach, yada, yada, yada. The reason why I create those is because when I was 16, 14, 15, 18, that period there, my friends and I, which were our first crew, we taught each other to paint. We had a few people that would teach us, but it was quite limited. So I only ever started creating them for a bit of fun, just so younger kids in a different part of the world might not have someone that they can look up to teach them how to paint, which was an old previous custom that you pass down styles or shared styles amongst a community or a city. That's why I create those, for no other reason. It's not graffiti, it's letters. You could apply those letters to anything. You could put them in a book, you could tattoo them on someone. There was never any bias towards what outlet or platform those letters should exist on. Just about teaching someone that might want to learn, and what they do with that to apply that is a really nice feeling, to feel like I might be teaching more. I know that it's helping more young kids than a lot of the butthurt individuals in the DMs.
I mean, also, even just like to do it in a more general sense, I feel like the letter videos just help people paint, think about different ideas and getting them out of their head, you know, in different kinds of ways, and thinking about it like that.
I agree, man. I've gotten way better at this sounds terrible for me. I've gotten way better at painting letters in the last 2 years, because for so many years I only painted 4 letters. Man, you get anyone that paints the same name all the time, paint something else, they'll suck ass at it. You see it in like different comps, War of the Words and whatnot. They're all amazing pieces, but you know, you get people to paint a piece or something that they didn't normally paint, they're not going to be that great at it. It's also challenging for me. That's why I like the roast. It's not that humbling, because I'm posting something that I've never painted, and backing away from the posting side, I'm painting something I don't ever paint. It is fulfilling for me because I can see the development in myself. That's amazing.
And just as an impressed friend, he's coming up with all this just out of his head. No planning whatsoever. It's just straight from dome to wall.
Dome to wall, baby.
It's crazy.
You know, thinking about this, like we've been in here now for 15, 20 minutes and I'm packing up the studio. As like now a father and someone that's creating a business, I have no other sources of anything to fund our lifestyle. This is why this is a fucking mess, man, because people ask, oh, how do you make money off painting murals? Man, it's long hours, like it's long days. It's like any job. You know, I get so many of my dad's generation, dad's mates being like, you're arty farty, fuck, you must sleep in and whatnot. Mate, I'm up before them. Again, I'm not complaining. That's what we all should be doing. But when I was away recently, you know, you're pumping 11, 12-hour days every day for 3 weeks back to back in order to get home. That's the only way I can make money from painting murals. If I slept into 11, booked in one shit-ass small tiny mural, I ain't making no money. If I sat in my garage and just painted all day on one painting and then walked out, went and got a boost, give me the spono, lad. Go get a bar meat. You're not really generating that much. Like, I'm foot on the gas the whole time. 5 minutes, 1 minute, creating the row show, building these different things out. So as a result of that, then you got this mess that I got to try and clean up every month. That's why I wanted to do this, to kind of show you what you don't see is the madness. Mate, we're signing off. The next 2 days or day and a half, we're going to punch out a bunch more 1 and 5 minutes. If you like them, show them some love. The row show, we're about to hit the road again as well. So there's new videos coming. We've got a project coming up in Vass down south, and then we're going to be heading over to Sydney, do a bunch of projects over there, and I am going to be filming and documenting as much as I can. Much love, the row show.